Good evening, it's Hiker Dude Dad, and we're getting prepped to go into Pioneer Cemetery. We are going to do a seance. We are going to try and talk to spirits tonight. Cole and I are going to head there now. This is going to be ridiculous. Stay tuned. So we'll plop ourselves right down in Pioneer Cemetery and try and talk to ghosts, basically. We'll, you'll be all canceled out. We'll both be mic'd up so you can hear real time everything that we say. My questions, and then whatever he picks up through the static.
Right.
Yeah. Through the ether.
Mm-hmm.
And
right.
I've got a long list of questions. There's a couple stories I'm going to tell you guys before tonight to give you some background, but we're going to try and communicate with some of those spirits. All right, so one of the spirits I want to try and speak through Cole to tonight is James Hazel. In December of 1882, he was found dead in the woods nearby the cemetery after failing to return home from a hunting trip with a man named Daniel Neidig. They were friends. They were out hunting turkeys on Bower Mountain. They were supposed to meet up on a path and go back to Pandemonium, but Hazel never came. Neidig figured he went home already and went back to Pandemonium. Hazel was found a couple days later with a smile on his face, but shot in the back. His loaded weapon, never fired, was about 15 feet away. Daniel Neidig was never a suspect, since James Hazel was engaged to Neidig's sister. Hazel was murdered the same week he was to be married. They did suspect a fellow tannery worker of Hazel's named George Shambaugh. He was the only man in Pandemonium who refused to join the search party. He was also out hunting in the woods this same day as Neidig and Hazel. Daniel Neidig eventually married Hazel's sister, Susanna Hazel, and moved to Harrisburg. So maybe Neidig got Shambaugh to kill James after they split up, so that Neidig could be with Hazel's sister, Susanna, possibly. I don't know. It's an unsolved mystery. All right, so the most decorated grave here in Pioneer Cemetery lies just outside the fence. This is possibly where a runaway former slave was buried. It's a tough story, but this is probably the most famous legend that has come out of Pandemonium. But this is allegedly where a female former slave lies. She was making her way through the Underground Railroad and was coming up through Henry's Valley one night, so escaping from captivity. And apparently she was chased up a tree by hunting dogs and shot down by locals. Perhaps one of these trees here close by. In the darkness of the night, allegedly, the men believe that the woman hiding in the tree was a bear. And this is the tough part. I'm not sure at all that the shooting was a mistake. Even though Pennsylvania was a northern state, Perry County at this time was still strongly in favor of slavery. I read terrible stories of a lot of men and families in this area that still own slaves and were still a part of it. Because of the fugitive slave law of 1850, the hunting of runaway slaves became a thriving business here in Perry County. So they say that she was buried just outside the northeast corner of the cemetery near the great white oak tree. I have possible names for her, so if the questioning later tonight goes that way, perhaps we can get the full story. In January of 1932, a plane piloted by two women from Pittsburgh to Harrisburg crashed into the side of Bowers Mountain. The plane was flown by Ruth Stewart of St. Louis. it disappeared into a cloud bank without a trace. With her was a passenger from Toronto, Debbie Stanford. The two female pilots were headed to New York, where they planned to refuel and attempt a one-stop flight to Buenos Aires to set a world record. The aircraft remained lost for 2 days until its wreckage was spotted from the air by volunteer air flyers. The plane had struck the side of Bowers Mountain with enough force that its engine was buried in the rocks. The fuselage, a crumpled mess. One of the wings had to be cut off to recover the body of Ruth Stewart. Ruth's clothing was soaked with gasoline. That was a sign that she had attempted to prevent an explosion by cutting the switch. She had been crushed by the engine while Debbie had been killed against the side of the cockpit. Crash Inspector Richard Herbine stated that either Mrs. Stewart got confused flying blind or else she was trying to feel her way out of the fog and struck the top of the mountain. My belief is that it was the former. Right by the fire is as good a place as any to tell you about the ghost of Bowers Mountain. Pennsylvania folklorist and historian Henry W. Shoemaker often told a tale about one of the ghosts of Bowers Mountain. He said, quote, "Old people in Henry's Valley crossing the mountain on moonlit nights say they see a large man tall as a door, and if one follows him from the road, he will lead to the scene of the tragedy and vanish." He wrote that in 1939. The scene of the tragedy is the site of the 1932 plane crash. However, this also happens to be the same mountain road where James Hazel, from our previous story, was last seen alive in 1882. The ghost in question might be the spirit of Hazel or the man who got away with his murder. Okay, so we're here in Pioneer Cemetery. It is in the evening, sun is down, and almost a full moon is coming up. We are going to attempt to talk to the spirits of people that are here. Sounds a little ridiculous, but we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. Cole has some cool Ghostbuster equipment here that is going to enable us to speak to them, and he can explain it real quick.
So what I have here is an SP7 spirit box. It's basically like a short little radio, plays FM and AM. And what will happen is I'll sweep through the radio stations at a higher frequency. And what the theory is around this is that ghosts are able to manipulate the radio frequencies, the white noise, to come through with words or even sentences. So I will be wearing a noise canceling headphones, and I'll be hearing these sweeping radio frequencies through, as well as a blindfold. So that way, when Ryan is asking his questions, I can't see what he's saying, I can't hear what he's saying, and I'm just going to be repeating what I hear through the spirit box as it's cycling through those radio stations at a higher pace. It's not going to pick up the radio itself, so we won't be hearing radio DJs and things like that. It will be words, sentences that are jumping out through the frequencies as they kind of cycle.
Yeah, I made a page of questions here about a week and a half ago. He told me to come up with questions for these spirits based on the stories that I told you guys before. I made up questions, trying to hone in on who we're talking to. So he has not seen these. That was my homework assignment. This is what it's going to sound like to Cole.
So it's cycling through the radio frequencies at a very high pace. And any words, phrases that come through, I'm just going to repeat what I hear to Ryan as he's asking questions. I won't be able to understand what he's asking. It's just what I hear. I'm just going to be repeating verbatim. Like I said, ask your question and then pause for like a good 20, 30 seconds before moving on to the next one. And then if I answer something, that it's kind of like a conversation, feel free to piggyback off of that, ask the questions, and then it doesn't make any sense, move on to the next question.
Okay. I would explain it, but I accidentally hit the
positive because I can't hear you
thing, and yeah, he can't hear me. Okay. I was trying to talk to him anyway, and he was not hearing what I said there.
Okay.
All right. So Cole is in the underworld now. He is communing with the spirits. He cannot hear me. He cannot see me. He has not seen these questions. Is anyone here with us? Is anyone here with us? James Hazel, are you here? There are animals in the woods.
What's that?
Are you James Hazel? Is anyone here with us?
Here.
What is your name? What is your name? Would you like to talk to us?
I know.
What do you know? Are you friendly?
Try it.
We are friendly. Are you friendly? Were you murdered? How did you die? Is anyone here with us?
Bring it. With.
What should we bring? What can we give you? Would you like to talk with us? We would like to talk to you.
I'm getting like a female voice, but I can't hear what she's saying.
Is this Ruth or Debbie?
Surprise. Tonight.
Did your plane crash? I literally have goosebumps. I'm seriously I don't like this at all.
I know.
What is the surprise tonight?
Ben.
Ben. Is your name Ben? I also have a list of everyone who has passed in this cemetery.
Party.
Party. Is it your Miller Lite can that I found earlier today? There's no Ben in this cemetery. What is the surprise tonight? I'm shitting bricks.
Offer.
Offer? What can we offer you?
Me.
I don't even know what to say at this point. Is this Pole? Pole and Nyla are the names of the possible names of the runaway slaves that were murdered in the tree over there. Is this Nyla? Is this Ben? Ben, are you there?
End.
End? Okay.
Word.
He said end. We're done with this attempt. Okay, so that was chilling. Okay, so early on, I think I asked something about what can we offer you. I wanted to know if they came in peace. What can we offer you? And stuff like that. Later on, he said offer. And then it was weird when you said Ben. You actually gave me a name. So I checked that list of the people buried here, and there is no Ben. And then it was like, surprise tonight, which we're camping here in the freaking middle of the woods. I don't want a surprise tonight.
No.
And
well,
you couldn't tell me what the surprise tonight was. I'm like literally like shitting bricks over here. And when you said end, I'm like, yeah, we're done. We're done with this take. Yeah, no problem. I think, what did you say after end? Was it wood or something?
I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You were just trance zoning.
You hear
Oh
that sweeping noise just.
And the whole time I'm hearing like some animals over there, some animals over here, and it's like,
yeah, the animal
you
noise
couldn't hear it.
definitely picked up when we got here. You know, I even remarked when we were back at camp that there was just a complete lack of animal noise around us.
But of course, there's creaks and cracks and rustling leaves and everything here in the cemetery with a full moon coming up behind the camera.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I have like goosebumps like that. I mean, I can. I'm a big wimp when it comes to being in the dark and woods and crap like that, but even more so in this atmosphere with what was going on. And should do one more quick round.
Yeah, I'm game.
Okay.
I'm game. Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, give me a tap when we start, and then give me a tap when we're done.
Good idea. Okay.
Okay, I'm good.
All right. He's good. What's this?
That better be you.
Hi. For real.
All right.
Had to mess with him. All right. All right. Is anyone here with us?
Why?
We're visitors. We would like to speak with you. We're friendly. We come in peace. Did you fight in the war?
So, black.
Boy. Did you escape from the South?
Ring.
Are you from Pandemonium? Are you from Canada?
God.
Are you with God now? Is God real?
Today.
Are you here with us today?
And my.
How did you die?
On.
On a plane? In a tree? What is your name?
A lot of music.
What is your name?
Relax.
I'm sorry, I'm very excited to speak with you.
Spring.
It's fall. Oh, did you die in the spring? Were you a mother? Do you like ham? If you're here with us,
I heard like a little scream.
if you're here with us, touch coal. Did you have a family?
You are. Speak.
What is your name? I would like to speak to you. Do you miss your family? Who's hotter, Cole or me?
I thought I heard plane.
Must be talking about Cole. If you would like to be on YouTube, please say something. Would you like us to leave?
Voices.
Would you like the voices to leave?
Inside.
Are there voices inside your head?
You're right.
Are you sad?
All of it.
All the voices, all the sadness? Were you murdered? Have you found peace? Shall we let you rest? Is there anything else you would like to say to us? I didn't make out what he said. Okay. All right, I'm gonna break this one off here.
Anything line up with
Not a lot.
asked?
Not a lot. I think I was on, I can't quite recall what it was, but I think there were a couple words there that were kind of made sense, or we were on a streak. And there was a point where I even asked if you're with God or something. You might have said yes. I'm like, is there a God? And it's just nothing then. I'm like,
yeah.
Something. I'll have to watch it over again. But this is really weird and really this is really weird and really unusual. This is a very bizarre thing, because I never know what's gonna come out of your mouth. You don't know what I was asking.
Yeah, no.
Like, does stuff make sense when you're hearing it, or it's just mostly one word?
It's just one word things, occasionally two or three, and I'm just repeating it as I hear it. I'm not trying to interpret anything.
Right. You're just
put my spin on anything.
conveying what you hear. Yeah.
Just repeating exactly what I hear.
So
when I hear it,
because this is scanning, because it's scanning through radio stations, it's going quick enough that we're not getting, like you said, DJs or anything like that. But it's possible it's just like a word sneaks through.
Maybe occasionally, right? But because it's sweeping so fast, you're really not picking up anything, right? A full word before it's.
That's what I was wondering, because then, what kind of music did you hear? Like, what was it like? Old timey, like? Yeah, there was some piano and just some tones. Nothing that I could say was, of this genre or this instrument. Like I said, a little bit of piano and maybe just tones, snippets of stuff. Yeah, I've had some interesting moments doing it with my daughter in cemeteries and other places. Okay.
Just kind of experimenting with it and playing with it. It's always, sometimes it yields nothing at all.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You're not there to kind of make something happen. And then other times, what ends up happening, sometimes it's a conversation, or it's just a yes, no kind of answer to a question, and then nothing.
All right. Any more to do? Are you satisfied?
I think we're good. It's very jarring experience hearing the sound of the sweeping radio frequencies, for 5, 10, 15 minutes. I don't even know how long it was in there. After
my prank touching your head, after that, like about halfway through, I asked the spirit, I'm like, if you are here with us, I put my hands up, if you are here with us, can you touch Cole? I was just watching you.
Nice.
And you didn't seem to jump or anything. I didn't know if
outside of a chill
Patrick Swayze would push a penny into you or something, or what. I don't know how that works. But all right. I'm more than satisfied. That was
awesome.
I didn't know I would feel that. I had chills and shivers down my spine from that. And I'm a very realist, kind of thing. And maybe it's just the setting, the legends, everything else. We're reading down on how these people died and what questions to ask was, and then actually like words coming out of you that was weird. So I need a shot of peanut butter whiskey or something like that. All right. So I think we're out of here for tonight. Don't know if there will be any more on this video, but from Pioneer Cemetery in Pandemonium, thank you for watching. After tomorrow night, I hope we'll make it back okay. But if you like what we're doing, like, subscribe, ring that bell. Follow this guy on Instagram. He's terrific. His pictures are amazing. Cole Swanger on Instagram. And man, it gets weirder every time, bud.
Yeah, it does.
So thanks a lot. We'll hopefully see you next time. Happy Halloween.